Hey, what's up, Owen, the Talking Native viewers? I told you I would be back for another SpongeBob episode, and this episode is called Tea at the Treedome, and this episode also came out on May 1st, 1999. This episode was okay. This episode I think I like better. It's probably the best one so far. The thing that made it, now, we see SpongeBob, he's jellyfishing. He sees four stinners, he goes to jellyfish. He misses the jellyfish and catches himself. Then he hears someone doing, I guess, karate and stuff. Then he sees a squirrel. Well, he doesn't know it's a squirrel, but he sees a critter, a creature, I should say, fighting a clam. It's like a big clam too. And then he looks up in a book and it says land squirrel. And then he roots for the squirrel. And then the squirrel thinks she defeated the clam, walks away. The clam gets up, goes to eat her, and SpongeBob goes, "Look out!" Then SpongeBob's like, "Hold on, little squirrel," and I guess he goes to save the day. Then he thinks he's doing it, but he really isn't. Sandy's lifting it, but SpongeBob's like, "Hey, I'm actually doing it." Then the thing lifts, and SpongeBob says, "Your shell is mine," and he goes beats up on the ton. Then Sandy gets out, saves SpongeBob, knocks the clam out of town, and then SpongeBob notices that she likes karate too. Then she says, "What do you call yourself?" And as she's asking this question, she's doing like these karate moves. SpongeBob runs off a rock, runs on a rock, jumps off and says, "I'm SpongeBob." Then she tells SpongeBob to take a gander at this, which means watch this. Then she, I don't know how the hell she did this, because she's a fucking squirrel. But I guess it's a cartoon, so, she karate chops a rock, and the rock breaks, and SpongeBob's like, "Ooh." And he's like, "Oh yeah, well I can do this," and then he does an armpit vote, and then, Sandy says that she likes him, they could be tighter than bark on a tree. And then she karate chops his head. So it's like, "I like her too, Sandy." Then he goes to karate chops her head, and he hits her helmet. Then he asks what that is. She says it's my air helmet. Asks if he can try it on. He's like, "No, gotta have my air." "Me too." It was great. He's like, "You kidding?" He says that air is his middle name. He loves air. Then she asks SpongeBob to invite SpongeBob to go have tea there. Then she tells SpongeBob not to be late. Then he runs to Patrick and asks, and then of all people, he asks Patrick what air is. Then Patrick doesn't understand the question, and he tells her that he met this girl, and she by the way, the school, I forgot to mention that the squirrel's name is Sandy. So she tells her that he met Sandy, and she puts on these airs, and Patrick's like, "You mean she puts on airs?" And he's like, "I guess so." And then Patrick's like, "That's just fancy talk, SpongeBob. If you want to be fancy, hold your pinky out like this." So I guess, and then he shows him, and then he puts it higher, and he's like, "Great, you're looking fancier already." Then SpongeBob is walking to Sandy's house, and Patrick reminds him, "When in doubt, pinky out." Then Patrick tells SpongeBob that he'll be watching. SpongeBob knocks, and he tells him he's here, and Sandy said that he would let him in. Then he's whistling, and as he's whistling, the water is going down, and then the pinky bends down, and he can't whistle anymore. Then he's struggling for air. Then he opens the door, and he's like, and he tries to tell Sandy there's no water, and then he looks around, and he goes, he's like, "Of course there's no water, nothing but air," and I guess he's trying to sense out what air is. is like, and she asks if it is a problem, is it? And then of course Eli's like, ha ha ha. Then he does his little laugh, and then he's like, I love it. And then he goes, and he's holding his breath, and then he coughs, and with no water. I love with no water. Then she says they're giving the fan to, and SpongeBob's walking. He's like, walking's kind of weird. He sounds weird. Like, that's not in. Then he goes a little bit closer. He's like, I don't really remember what you said. I guess don't be shy or something. Then, as she's giving the tour, she shows him a bird bath. SpongeBob tries to go to the bird bath while she's distracted. He does. Then, when he does, the bird punches him off, and this is kind of strange. Then, she asks us to let's have that tea now. Hi. Then Patrick tells SpongeBob to put his pinky up. He does. Then, SpongeBob says that you brought her some flowers. She goes to put them in a vase. Then he goes to run away to get out of there so he can breathe. Then he's having like he's hearing voices. He hears the voice like we could be talking about Buffalo Street, like Sandy said. Then when in doubt, pinky out. Then he puts his pinky up. He's like, I don't need water. Water's for quitters. And then he's telling himself, I don't need it, like the legend of could. Like, I think I can. He's going, I don't need it. I don't need it. Then he sees a vase with the water, and Sandy's going, nothing like an ice, nothing like a vase, flowers in a vase of ice, cold water, kind of rubbing it in the face, not on purpose, of course, that SpongeBob can't breathe. Then SpongeBob's telling himself, I don't need it. I don't need it. Then he goes, I need it. And Patrick tries to get him to stop. He goes, Pinky, Pinky. He does it fancy like a Pinky. And then he drinks the water, and he's like, I'm a quitter. And he's upset. Then Patrick ends up coming, and he's like, you can't. And he tells him that he can't leave now. He'll blow it. And SpongeBob says the air's not good, Patrick. Air is not good. Patrick says he's just being shy. He says, don't worry, buddy, you're doing fine. And Patrick has trouble breathing. And he goes, what kind of place is this? Then they try to break out. They can't. Then Sandy ends up coming out, and with the cookies and the tea. And she says, come and get it. You're going to like this. She finds SpongeBob and Patrick. They're about to die. SpongeBob is now in a sponge. Looks like a regular sponge. Patrick looks like a regular starfish. She puts like water helmets on, and fills it with water. Then they don't talk after this either. Sandy says that if you want water, you should have asked. Then Sandy says, I propose a toast to new friends. They can't drink the tea, of course, because it's in a cup and they have helmets on now. Then he's like, hold on a second. I hope you like your tea strong. And this is actually pretty cool. She puts like a tea bag in there, and like tea fills up the like the water, instead of the now being water, it's now tea. They put their pinkies up, they drink it, then they go, then it just ends. What I don't understand by this is, why are they drinking all the water? Then they're going to have to go through that. But like saying, it can just always be fun. But overall, I really liked this episode. It wasn't that bad. And it was a good way to end off the May, I guess, because all these episodes I just reviewed, these 3 in a row, came out the same day. And all these episodes, with the exception of one, and that's the leaf blower episode, probably the worst episode maybe in the series, maybe ever in SpongeBob history. But that isn't their fault. But it's just my opinion. But this episode so far is my favorite. It's kind of fun going back and watching all these. But next week I will be back, and I will be reviewing the next SpongeBob episode, and I think this one might be something to review. I might have to go back and rewatch it again because I won't remember. But that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out.